I'll tell you what it isn't about that had nothing to do with us doing it. And that's for any kind of celebrity status for any of us. This isn't about us. There's always so many remarkable things going on within our organization and within the teams. Then I wanted their messages out there. I wanted what they were doing, their how-to, their mindset, their leadership techniques. Our people are hungry, to get better. And they're entrepreneurs. They want to learn, but most of them are new entrepreneurs. And also, we've just started our 43rd year in the business. There's just things you pick up and perspectives you pick up. Also the chance, and this kind of evolved, I wasn't even thinking of this when we first started. I just thought of it more as a library of information that people can constantly go to and refresh themselves. But one of the things I hadn't really thought about is kind of this current event thing, to talk about something just after convention, or reflect on this thought after this happened in the economy, or this thing happened within our company. And so that I could real time, at the end of every week, and talk about, what's on people's minds and what's in their hearts, what's worrying them, what excites them, all of that kind of stuff. This gave a lot of good reasons to do a podcast. This is a pretty easy reflection for me. Since I have no goal to be a celebrity or to have followers in the social media way of meaning it, our thinking was to build something for just our organizations and that use our business platform. And so our people were going around searching for things to listen to. They're on YouTube listening to this, and next thing you know, they're watching some music video or something else, and they've distracted themselves as the algorithms start feeding them all kinds of things. We wanted something where this was just focused on them, and a private podcast was the answer. There's certainly other good podcasts you can listen to about leadership that's inspiring things, but this is from us. We answer questions from our teammates as it relates to our company, our products and services, our methodology. I'm speaking from the heart to people that I care about, the teammates that I know, and yet I know there are many people that have just joined that'll be listening to these, and I haven't met you yet, and it doesn't matter to me. I know they're just people listening, and it matters to them, and they want answers, and they want to win, and they want a better life. I think somebody, when they're starting a private podcast, one of their concerns with how do we get people to listen to it? And the bottom line is very straightforward. You just do it through repetition. You bring it up sometimes in individual conversations. You bring it up in a team meeting. You bring it up in a leadership meeting. Now, I was on a call today with several people, and we were just on the phone, and we talked some things about our podcast and promoting it. There have been Zoom calls we're doing, and we promote it that way. There have been webinars that we do within our company. We promote it that way. We have email blasts out to people. One, don't be impatient with it. Just keep building it, person at a time. I'm always going to speak from a voice of experience and from the heart. And since 100% of my motivation is to help individuals within our organization have a consistently improving experience within our company, there's so many aspects of the business where we're talking about recruiting, or we're talking about how to maintain a high level of motivation, or a high level of focus, or how do you do this specifically when you're working with people, or how do you help develop a leader, or how do you deal with conflict in your team? I love talking about all of these things because they're all important. But when I talk about why we're there, what we hope to do with these people, how much we want to help them, how much people need to understand and have a much clearer picture of what's going on financially in their lives, have some goals set, how much that impacts them, how it may put hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars into their future, how that ripples out into their children's lives, into their grandchildren's lives. When I talk about that, that's my favorite part of that conversation. The name of our podcast is Straight Line Thinkers, so I'm going to give you a straight line thinking answer. If you're perceived as a bad person or a bad company, that's the hurdle you have to overcome. If you haven't been dealing with people with integrity and you haven't been able to build relationships of trust, or you're in an environment where people are criticized and put down, as opposed to encouraged and appreciated, recognized, that's what creates problems. If you're leading your life in such a way and conducting your business in such a way that people appreciate it, feel respected, and they get that you care about them, then people are going to want to listen. If they don't get that, it doesn't matter how smart you are, right? People aren't going to enjoy listening. I won't name anyone in particular, but I picked up an autobiography of someone once, and the person was unpleasant to hear about. His thought processes. He built a really successful company, but it was such an uncomfortable read, I threw the book away. He was selfish. It was all about him. I think whatever else is going on in your business, or whatever kind of business or industry it's in, if they get that what you're doing is for them, not some shameless self-promotion, look at me, it's about really helping people, creating a better culture within your team, within the company, I think then you've got a brand that is frankly going to be easy to promote. I'm not a prophet, a soothsayer, or an oracle. But one thing that I do feel strongly is, just like music, quality podcasts will always be in demand. Now, how music is delivered to the consumer, that's taken a bunch of different shapes and forms, right? I'm of an age that I could go back to the memory of, vinyl and records, and then 8 tracks. Never had one of those, but my wife did in her car. But the reality is that the delivery of the message or the technology of it changes, but the power of heartfelt messages of hope, messages of encouragement, great messages of instruction from people who are really competent. And these things will always be in demand. And right now, podcast is delivery form. I think it's going to be that way for a while. The listening is easy. It can be private, or you can listen to it in a group setting. Certainly now I come from a private podcast standpoint. Will that be a constant demand? Yes. Is there probably an easier, simpler, more cost-effective way to deliver it than podcast? Not that I'm aware of. You don't have to use film. It's easy to record. And we don't have to be in each other's presence to put it together, or with multiple people. This is really a flexible format and a way of communicating. But certainly the delivery of messages and the simplicity of it and the ease of it is a big deal. As I look at all the forms of businesses out there, and major corporations, franchise operations, you pick it. Why haven't they branched out in audio, in podcast form? I think sometimes people just miss the simplicity of this, how easy it is relatively technologically to put it together and distribute. And when we decided to do ours, which is a private podcast, we put together the app and really in just a few days. And then it was just getting the production people together and a couple of microphones and a screen, and we were off to the races. It's for us in business. There are messages and there's cultural things within our business we've got to communicate. There's urgent things that it's important they hear our voice and they can listen to it again. Sometimes it's for reassurance, and it gives them confidence that you're on your game. You're on top of the subjects. you know your stuff, or you're reacting to things that they're concerned about. Kind of finished up our first year, learned some things, growing pains, this kind of, gotten a lot of subjects already in the can for people to listen to. And I love how the library is growing. All our best leaders, a lot of their stuff is now going to be getting out. Now that means a lot to their teams, but also means a lot to other teams away from them who are trying to figure out, what are these guys doing? I mean, they're tearing it up. They're killing it. And I want to know, and they're not in a position to find out. Well, now on Straight Line Thinkers, as we get all this stuff out and we're recording fast and furious, to get these things done and through the system and out to you so that you can on top of your game even faster. One of the powers of this season is that we're going to have so many of our capable leaders that are doing such remarkable things. I mean, remarkable stuff that exceeds anything I've ever seen in over 42 years in the business. I don't care how much experience I have, somebody else's experience is valid. And you're also going to be hearing people that are right in the trenches, running their base shops, personal recruiting, because there's perspectives I have that help everybody and build confidence and make people feel more secure in the future of their company. But then there are the things that are going on day to day that are so stunningly special that I want you hearing from them. And now you're going to be hearing from them.